All right, what's up, guys? I'm gonna do a small video here. Let's see. There we go. I'm gonna do a small video for the notes today, since on YouTube there's no other notes for this, which is really dumb. So, all right. So first of all, for your equations, that these are going to be in point slope form. Now, we can get the point and the slope really easily. The slope is always going to be the number that is in front of your parentheses. My writing is going to be a little bit messy on this. So slope is here. It's going to be the number in front. That says front, okay. In front of parentheses. I'm just going to put P-A-R-E-N in front of your parentheses, okay? Which means if you look at your example one and your example two, your slope is this number, -3/2, because that's the number in front of parentheses, right? 3/2. And then for example two, your slope is just +2. Easy enough, right? So you should be able to get slope for all these types of problems. Now let's move on to how to get your point. This is a little bit confusing. This is probably the most confusing part about what we're doing today. Um, your y and your x are reversed and they're the wrong symbol. So we're going to be using this 2 points in the equation. So you're going to use this and this. So this will be your y value. This is your y value. And if you remember correctly, your y is actually the second number in your point. So this is actually the second. It's going to be the second number. And then this will be your x value. And this in your parentheses is always going to be your first number, right? First number. So they're actually backwards. So when we write our point, I'm going to write it here on the side. This actually has to go first. So this is actually going to go first. So your x1 should actually go here. And then your y1 should actually go here. Not only that, but once we move them, we actually have to change both the symbols. And I'm going to write that here where this empty space is. Change both symbols um, in your point. This is your point. In your point. So we're going to try just two examples today. So I have, now if you notice this, the end actually goes first. So +4 right here is actually going to be the first part of our point, right? So we have a +4, comma, and then this number right here, -3, is the y. That'll be our second number for our point. So -3. But that's wrong, right? We just said we have to change both symbols in your point. So if you want to write change, because right now this is wrong, you got to change it. So your actual answer, instead of +4, all you're doing is you're changing the symbol. So it'd be -4. Instead of -3, it would just be +3. And this is actually going to be your answer for point, this set of numbers right here. This is just the process, this first one, the +4 -3, just the process on how to get our actual answer. Just think of it as a step, right? Now, in terms of graphing this, right, getting the x-intercept and the y-intercept, I know we've been doing everything by hand. We're actually going to do a calculator for this part, just because uh, we're not going to be doing, oh my gosh, we're not going to be doing graphing for every single thing. We're going to try to start doing more stuff by calculator. So let me erase this, actually, this stuff here. Hopefully you got it. If not, you can just pause it or go back and watch it again, okay? I need to move this out of the way. Sorry, guys. All right, so I'm going to graph this in my calculator. So the way I do that is I need to go to the graph, add graph. I need to erase all of this stuff because it's all in the way. Okay. So now the problem is that it will not let you type it in like this without doing it a specific way. So our specific way is this. We have to type in the word nsolve. So first, Nsolve. Have to spell correctly first, okay? Then we have to do an open and close parentheses, okay? Inside my parentheses, go back inside your parentheses, and this is where we're going to type this entire equation, the whole thing, exactly how it looks. So even though this also has parentheses, we have to put that in as well. So I'm going to type in the whole thing, y. Make sure you're doing the correct minus symbol, -3 equals -3/2. There's two ways you can make the fraction. You could do these three buttons here by the book and get a fraction, or you can do control division. Both of them will make a fraction, okay? I already figured out what the number was. 3/2. 3 on top, 2 on bottom. Now, remember, if you keep typing stuff, it's going to stay in your fraction. So when you're done with your fraction, make sure you click the right arrow to get out of the fraction. See? Now, I do have parentheses here, so I have to do another open parentheses. If you don't put the parentheses there, it's going to be wrong, because then your -3/2 is only going to go to x when it should be going to both things inside the parentheses. So x plus 4. Sorry, you have to keep going back and forth, guys. All right, x plus 4. Those both need to be in parentheses. Now, I'm going to close my parentheses, right, for this x plus 4. Now, once you're done typing the equation, anytime you have nsolve, you have to put what you are solving for. We are pretty much almost always on the graph going to be solving for y. The way we tell it that is we have to put a comma, which is the very bottom button over here by O on the left side. And then since we're solving for y, we have to put y because we want it to solve for y. Okay? And then you're going to press enter. Now yours is not going to be as fast as mine because these calculators are old. It's going to load, so it'll take some time. It'll slowly graph it, right? But from here, we can draw my x and my y-intercept, right? I have my x-intercept here, and this is 1, so this is 0, so this is -1, -2. And you can just kind of copy it, right? So it's at -2, so my point is right here at -2, so I can draw my first point. So I know my x-intercept is -2, 0. On your assignment on Schoology, I'm just going to want the number. So you'll just put -2 on your assignment today. And then the y-intercept was I forgot what it was. We got to go down 1, 2, 3. So it'd be -3. So the y-intercept is down 1, 2, 3. Draw your second point there. Now this one, the 0 goes first, -3. And then when it asks you on the assignment, I just want the number. So you're just going to put -3 on your assignment, okay? And then from here, you just do your best to try to make it oh geez, a line as straight as possible. It's a little bit off, I don't care, right? So we have all of our answers, right? We had slope and point, which I had to erase. We already got them. That's how we do the graph on the calculator and the x and y intercepts. We're going to do it one more time. I'm going to go a little bit faster this time. So we already know that my slope was 2. We already got that, right? Now, for my x and y, we have -3. And this is just a setup, right? So it's not going to be our answer yet. -3 is going to go first. And then my y is +1. It's going to go second. But that's wrong. We have to change the symbols. Make sure you keep writing like change or something like that to remind yourself that this is not the answer. If you stop here, it's going to be wrong. So we got to change this. So this should be, instead of -3, just change it to the opposite symbol, +3. And instead of +1, change this to -1. They both have to change. If they're both positives, make them both negatives. If they're both negatives, make them both positives. Blah, 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 right? Okay, so we have my point, I have my slope. Now I have to just type this, do the same thing. I'm going to go back to my calculator. I can just click X to X out of this. No, I don't want to save it. I'm going to have to erase everything I just wrote down. So that way you can see what we're doing. So we have our point and our slope already. So we just got to graph and get the X, Y intercept. So we're going to go back to the calculator. We are going to go to add graph again. Have to type the word nsolve, Nsolve. It doesn't matter if it's lowercase or uppercase. I know some of you, you're going to be like, oh, it's uppercase. That's fine. And then we got to do open and close parentheses because we have to put our equation and everything in here. So go back to the inside the parentheses and we got to type our equation again, right? So we're on example 2, y+1 equals, this is easy, so no fraction, 2 parentheses x minus 3. Okay, 2 parentheses x, make sure you're doing the right minus symbol, minus 3. We got to close parentheses, right? That's what it has on your paper. It has a closed parentheses after the 3. Then we have to say what we're solving for. We want it to solve for y. So to solve for means comma on the calculator. So comma, and then we want it to solve for y. Okay, and that has to also be inside the big parentheses, right? If you noticed, everything's inside the parentheses here. My equation, and then also the comma y has to be in the parentheses. All right, from here you just press enter. Holy cow. All right, so my x-intercept, 1, 2, 3, looks to be about 3.5, right? Pretty close. So we are going to draw our point on the x at 1, 2, 3.5. So x-intercept, 3.5, comma 0. And like I said in your assignment, I just want the number. So on your assignment on Schoology, it'll just be 3.5. And then your y-intercept, um, kind of goes down here, right? Can't really see it. What you can do is if you want to hold down the middle button somewhere on the white, you can see how I'm holding it down and there's a hand right here that's grabbing it. You can kind of pull it whatever direction you want. So I'm pushing it up. but you have to keep this button held down. That's what makes the hand close. And then while you're doing that, you kind of scroll up. Okay. So now I can kind of count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. -7. So right out of our vision earlier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -7. Draw our second point right there. We know 0 goes first, right? And then -7. So then my answer on Schoology would be -7, right? If we were doing this way. And just kind of connect your dots as best as possible. Okay. All right, guys. You're gonna do the same thing. There's an assignment on Schoology. It's gonna ask for all 4 things, but each question will be separate. So it'll just, like question 1 will just ask for the slope. And then question 2 will ask you to put the correct point. Question 3 will ask for the y-intercept or whatever. Question 4 will ask for the x-intercept. So it's just one problem. You're just doing it piece by piece. So point and slope, you should be able to do kind of like in your head or on paper. X and Y intercept, use the calculator. Okay, with the end solve. All right, guys, good luck. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know how sick I am. I'm gonna go to the doctor later, so if not, I will try to see you on Friday. Bye, guys.